You're such an asshole.
How you kids doing? All right. Why is that not? Did I not plug that in? Why isn't it charging up? Why is it not charging up? Of course it's not charging. Hang on. Is it charging up? Okay, it says it's charging up. All right. We have a request. If you have a request, you could always go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, will answer your questions that your father should have asked, but your mom left them when you were a child. Or maybe you didn't even stick around. I don't know who your daddy is. As long as you got money. You say, why should I give you money? All the parents of the adults in my life gave me everything for free. My education, they said my education that should be free. I should get money in UB. I'm like, yeah, well, how's that advice? How's it working? How's that going following your adults' advice? The adults in your life advice. How's that working? It's not. I wonder if price correlates with quality. So for a fee, I will give you the much needed Gen X kick in the ass you so rightly need. A previous client has a follow-up. Hello, Aaron. You did a video on male loneliness for me. There was another topic I wanted you to tackle as I continue my journey of excellence. I call it a journey. That's what girls, my journey, just say my path, my working towards, just say life and let the excellence be implied. How have you learned to vet women properly? I didn't. I'm just like every other guy my age, by trial and error and lots of pain, lots of pain. How did you learn to vet women properly as you were dating to find the eventual long-term relationship you have now? As I explained earlier, you work at a somewhat, we talked about before, you have a very interesting hobby, very interesting sport you engage in for now, and have built up somewhat of a name for myself in the community. Due to this, I have had an influx of women who are constantly trying to cling to me. No, not girls trying to cling to you. Oh, no. While I am focused on my objectives, I will not turn down dates as it takes minimal effort. Sometimes they pay. Oh, man. Man, I feel for you. Are you all right? Need to talk to Dr. David Maloney about this? All these girls throwing you so like Marcus Brown. I don't know if you're around. Marcus Brown was complaining, oh, I got a problem. All right, what is it? I got all these girls. I'm like, yeah. And they keep showing up at my place. I'm like, oh. I'm like, what's the problem, Marcus? Well, they want to sleep with me. I'm like, oh no, Marcus, these girls keep showing up at your place. They want to sleep with you. Yeah. I'm like, are these pretty girls? Yeah. I'm like, oh, Marcus, it's just so bad. Marcus Brown he's on the cover of the Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. He's a cool guy. So you seem to have this problem. Women just throwing themselves at you. Nah, it's hard, man. I could see why you contacted me. While I'm focused on my objectives, I will not tip but sometimes they pay, and who knows, maybe something works out. The reason I ask about vetting is because of the fact that I would like to find a suitable candidate at some point in time. Candidate for what? Marriage? Long-term relationship? What? But I would also like to stop wasting time with girls who end up being bipolar or having drama a few months or so into the relationship. I'm very familiar with Rich Cooper's philosophy on frame and have done a good job of maintaining it, as I do not have time for other people's crap. One shortcoming I would like to make clear is the fact that I have a hard time being abstract, as I'm a very literal person. So any red flags tips you could add would be very much appreciated. Best wishes. We'll keep you anonymous. All right, this is a very good question. Now, if you go in the archives, you can look at the Clary relationship test, which is a little bit more thorough, but I've come up with a list of things. But let's talk about, I'm just going to go over some red flags of things you should or should not look out for. All right. That's kind of, you want something literal. So I'm going to give you some red flags to look out for. But where you're talking about, like, maybe you can't pick up on it. I mean, you're a young man. I mean, me and every young guy doesn't pick up on it because you're blind by your horniness. Right? Especially back in the day before the internet, we didn't know. I mean, we believe, well, girls are equal and they'll just do everything. And why would a girl lie or use double talk? She said she'd show up on the date. Why isn't she showing up on the date? That doesn't make any sense. So the problem, where is it? You face a slightly different problem in addition to the one you're already asking about. I would also like to stop wasting time with girls who end up being bipolar or having drama a few months or so into the relationship. Okay, so let's address this here. Um, months time. You're a few months in. That's 3 months. Let's just say 2 on average, and you're going out every weekend. That's that's 8 dates times 3. That's 24 hours. And the cost, that's about $1,000 easy. We're talking some serious time and resource and money investment into this, right? So when it comes to the bipolar and all this stuff, then there is an emotional or psychological cost, no doubt, or at least just a headache. So what you need to do is kind of like it's not hedging your best, but you got to not invest so much, and at least of terms of psychology, emotion, and mental energy. Going out with a girl like once a week isn't irrational. So you're going to have that time commitment. You're going to incur some costs. That's to be expected. So I don't think the financial and the time resources can really be hedged. But what you can do is wait. Like don't get invested in these girls emotionally, psychologically, or in any other kind of way. Back in the olden days, they had good front game. And girls could put on an actor. I've seen someone, I know someone who was married to, it took 2 years of courting, and she looked like she was great, and then sure enough, got the ring, she turned into a weapons grade biatch. It made his life hell and poor. It was funny because it wasn't me. Um, they can keep up an act. Everyone knows how to behave in polite society. Like, you can go to a formal dining dinner party thing, and most people could go to church and not fart. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can usually go to a formal setting and not get into a fist fight. You just gotta wait them out. Now, there's a couple things I'm gonna go through here, but speaking of Rich Cooper, he like, look in their medicine cabinet. Where's your bathroom? I gotta go number onesie. Oh, it's over there. You darn right go over there and open up and you look. If you don't know what it is, you take a picture of it. Lithium, bad. It's bad, very bad. Antidepressants, Xanax, whatever else, all bad. And some of it might, she got, I don't know, high cholesterol. All right, that's fine. But any psychotropic drugs, meaning they treat mental illness, like, yeah, there's you have a right to snoop a little bit. But until that point in time comes, until she's slashing your tires, you should not be investing any emotion or mental energy into these girls until they prove it. Right? So first, I'm not saying don't date, obviously not. Go out, have fun. There are good girls out there. Absolutely. They're rare, but they're out there. So a lot of times, this happened a lot to me where they're great gals, but it wouldn't work out. Normally because these crazy women want to have kids. It's like, my seed, can't we just have fun acting like we're having kids? No, I want to have kids. Why would you ruin this? Don't you like food? Don't you like leisure? Don't you like sleep? But no, they were masochists and wanted kids. So what you got to do is there's time. Time will tell all. And that's the strategy, I would say. But since it's going to take 2 to 3 months before, Miss Dead Buddy shows up or the crazy shows up, it's just going to be time. And the biggest cost there is, you start getting like, yeah, I really like this girl. Might you get hope? You think, you really maybe even like the girl? And then all of a sudden she has like this aberrant behavior. Like, that's kind of odd. Well, maybe she was just off. Then you start making excuses because you already started developing feels for her. And then you find out, oh no, she was just putting up and acting the entire time, and the real her is slowly coming out. So at least 3 months before you even start. And you know what? You could just have it as a policy. I'm not committing. We're not having a long-term relationship. I'm dating other girls. I'm working on myself and my career. We can have fun. And then you're not committed. There's no rush. He can't give you, well, where's this going? I recall us having this conversation that I said, I'm not committing to do. Don't ask me that again. They ask you a third time, then she's disrespecting you and not listening to you. So it's already bad. But as long as you're not taking it serious, You still get to go out, you still get to have fun, you have female company, you know, you go dating isn't always bad. Maybe you get laid, but when she starts a little cray-cray come out, once she like, "Hmm, what's wrong?" If you don't know, I'm not telling you. You say, "Hey, I need to get gas. Can you run inside and get me a soda? Here's some money." Zoom! You get that girl out of your car, you never call her again. So, do not invest emotionally or psychologically during the probationary period. And that probationary period could go as long as a year easy. The older you are, you're like, no, no. Your probationary, you don't get vested in the retirement plan for 5 years. All right. Got a long-term probationary period. But yeah, 3 months, girls can, it's just gonna take time to, you gotta outlast them. You gotta outlast them. And inevitably will come the real personality come bubbling to the top. You're like, aha! I knew you were whatever social anxiety disorder woman, can handle situations. So, aside from that general strategy of not really caring until the probationary period is over, let's go through a couple of the things. You could look this up on the relationship test. They used to do those. We haven't had those in a while. A little bit more thorough, but let's go through just some key things that a literal person such as you looking for a long-term relationship, right? This doesn't mean you can't date girls that don't fit this. All right. Just don't, they're not going to be the mother of your children, right? No real degree or education. Okay. If they got a liberal arts degree, a social science degree, a degree that teaches them victimhood politics and leftism and all that, no. They're going to be a financial liability and they're also going to be a mental liability. There's just no, now if the girl doesn't have a degree or any training, just say works at, oh no, she's a waitress or a barista. That's fine. She's working. All right. But you got to look at her intelligence and above all else, practicality. Are you going to spend 4 years or 2 years in education and training, something that's going to get you a job? Or are you going to go play make believe college educated, intelligent person for your party school college experience as you get your journalism degree? That's the first thing. And usually by your age, they do have a degree or they're have some kind of formalized training and something. And if the girl is a, you know, like our good buddy Jesse, you know, a girl, uh, she's an gas rig operator. I mean, she's really the Rosie the River. Like, there you go. All right, good for her. If she's an au pair who's trying to figure herself out because she couldn't find a job with her anthropology degree, no, 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 no. So that just shows you how adult and how realistic she is. And almost a guarantee if she has a liberal arts or a social science educational worthless degree, her politics going to be leftist, hardcore leftist, which is just not conducive to getting married or committed relationship. She's not going to let you be the man. She's not going to be a woman. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible, but unlikely. And that will, and some other things be exposed in her behavior. So that's like your first kind of warning sign. And keep in mind, if she has one of these things, that doesn't mean, oh, nope, she's off the list. These are just things to look out for. And individually, the individual colors of paint that should paint a pretty clear picture of whether this is someone you want to go out with or not. Does she have a job? A real job? Not she's working at the nonprofit agency on a government grant. Not I'm part-time social worker. I'm an early childhood education special ed development specialist. Not an activist. Like, does she have a real job? It doesn't have to be high paying. Is she a waitress? Is she a bartender? Is she a hair salon gal? Good. It's a real job. Does she drive Uber? Wait, doesn't have to make it's just does she work a real gig? Does she know what real work is? Or is her job just bitch and whine and complain and ask donors and taxpayers for money? That's not a real job. Right. It could also, you know, ideally, oh yeah, she's a surgeon. She's an accountant. She's a nurse. You know, mechanic, something not only a real job, but a hard real job. So that would be the other one there. by your age, and especially since you're looking for something long term, very simple. This is going to wipe a lot of people out. Men too. Girls, you could follow this advice too if you wanted. Does she support herself? Like, does she pay her rent? Does she pay for her car? Does daddy help her a little bit? Well, dad and mom help a little bit with the rent. Dad and mom help a little bit with my credit card loans. Dad and mom help. Well, I need student loan forgiveness. No, that is the definition of a parasite. That person needs other people to subsidize her living expenses. I mean, probably out of all this, that's the number one important thing. I could even overlook a woman who's a Democrat or has a liberal arts degree. It's like, yeah, you know what? But I got to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. And I'm like, dang, look at her. She's supporting herself. So that would be a huge one for me. Okay, she's 22 and still in college. Well, obviously not. But if she's working and going to school and trying to become a nurse or something, all right, she's working. So, these aren't hard and fast rules. Where's the dad? This is probably the number one determining thing. Does she have a good relationship with her father? That is the number one. And if you meet a girl and you think you're just really starting to like her, go meet dad. I'm all for meeting dad. Like, yeah, I got to see, like, is she fake? You'll be able to tell. Like, if he comes in and, the dude's a dude and I don't know, he can repair his car, he's got a real job and the house is maintained. Or you pull up and he's got like glasses, even though I know I got glasses here, but like he's Mortimer Snerd and he's like, millennial Gen X soy boy. Like, I could take this guy. Okay, she got a dad. Maybe she liked, but dad hasn't taught her. All right. So you want her, you want her to love dad. And you want dad to be a real man if possible. Another thing, is her mom thin or hot? Now you say, well, she's 53 years old. Well, does she look good for 53? Right. You would also like to have a good relationship with her mom too. Right. But if you're like, wondering if she's going to get fat, look at the mom. That'll tell you. Very important. But it's hard for women to stay in shape. Not our problem. You go talk to God, have him, move his magic wand. All right, all men are attractive to ugly fat chicks now. We don't control it. Take it up with the guy upstairs in nature. So since no doubt you'd like, if it's long term, presumably if you were to be, I'm not even recommending marriage, stay together till death do you part in a voluntaristic libertarian relationship. Yeah, she better be thin when she's older. She better be. Does she let you lead? This is another thing, because if girls are gonna do their thing, and a lot of girls don't have the finishing touches, finishing school, they used to have this. But when you go out in public, just go get some errands. Go down, go to Walmart. Say, I gotta get something. See if she walks with you and holds your hand, or does she dart off or run and start looking at clothes? And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It just means like she is not aware of you or putting you first. I'm not saying you got to bow down and give blood to you, but when you're there, when you guys are together, it is one, okay, you're the most important thing here, obviously, as would be like, she's the most important thing. And that our mission is to go and get widgets. And she's like, ooh, shiny bauble. Ooh, I can buy, that's a kind of a good test to see, like, okay, she's going to go shopping? She really going to go shopping? Like, okay, no, because then it's going to be other things that like, hey, look, we got to move. Like, what do you mean we got to move? Like, we got to move. Minnesota's becoming a crap hole. We got to get out of here. But no, you're with me or not? Rollo Tomassi talks about his wife. Like, I got to move. She's like, okay. He's like, what? No argument? No. She's like, no, wherever you go, I go. And not all men can be leaders. I'll just, for those of you who prefer not to wear the pants of the family, you want a woman to kind of lead, that's fine too. But if you're the leader, the girl must follow. I was going to say dote. That's not the right word. You should be like, yeah, okay, you go. All right, I'll follow you around. It's not even because, leading is superior. It's like, you can't have two people wandering around. That's not a relationship. There's someone who's obviously going to lead, and then the other person is going to follow and support. And so that is an early litmus test. Like, is she going to nag you? That's another thing. Like, you're like, oh, I gotta, go. I gotta get a pair of shoes. Is she gonna like hound and like look and go around like, well, why not that? Why not? Yeah, like I like these shoes. Well, why not? Wait, I like these shoes. Shut up. I made my decision. Because that's going to spill over to every individual. Like you'll get gas. Well, why are you getting regular? We could easily afford like, oh no, life isn't worth it. So you gotta see if she's gonna follow you around and is like, is she pleasant to be around? Or are you constantly ramming heads on the pettiest crap? So there's that. Does she have stable finances? Specifically, does she not have a ton of irrational debt? Freshly graduated from college, of course, she's gonna have some debt. If she's 28 and has 14 grand in credit card debt and a car loan for a car she can't fix nor afford, and then she has an apartment for three. Well, it depends where you are, but let's say 3,000 a month. Because a luxury apartment, no, that's not stable finances. Again, mathematically, financially, if you have debt that didn't go for an investment like a house or a real degree, you are spending more than you make, and you are therefore a parasite. You are a financial liability. Goes for you guys too with your sports trucks. Pickup truck, Ford F-150 penis extender truck nuts pickup truck. And you live in your trailer. So, yeah, that stable finances, that's really important. That's really important. Because a lot, here's your standard. They go from dad, then to government, then probably back to dad a little bit, to hubby. It's like, when do you support yourself? You're like, whoa, I didn't sign up to support you. Remember that whole strong, independent equals? Yeah, you make sure women are treated equally. They support themselves. Absolutely. And you do it too. So there's that. She a pack rat. Get into her house. While she's there. Don't sneak into her house when she's not. Like she'll invite you over, presumably one of these days, and just look around. Is it clean? Is it orderly? Her car. If you don't see her house, look at her car. Is it got a bunch of trash in it? And then can you move around? How much does she have? A lot of collectibles that don't make sense? These gals, younger, not so much. But as I've seen women get older, I've ran into older women. It's like, holy cow! Someone's friend, their dad dies, or their mom dies. They got to go clean out the place. Like, what in F's name is all this garbage? And so you don't want to be dating someone. And what pack rats are when they have to have things, nice stuff, even if it's to the detriment of compromising their domicile, living where they are. It tells you they love stuff more than humans. That's not a mentally stable person. It's not a mentally healthy person. That's not someone who you could form a relationship with. They want their things. They don't want a human being to share their life with. So there's that. We already talked about the medications, but just ask if she's like, and this is an easy one, especially the younger days, because a lot of people, like, they're proud of it. It's like their defining characteristic or feature. Just like, yeah, when I was a kid, they said I had ADHD. And they want to put me on Ritalin. They're like, do you ever get a diagnosed with any of that kind of stuff? Oh, and they'll tell, I have this and I have that. Like, oh, really? Even today? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, oh, sure. What they got you on? Xanax? I don't know. Whatever the drug is, whatever the Adderall. Find out if they have one or they think they have one. Doesn't matter if they do or if they imagine they have it and it's not. Like, that's their thing. Right? No, I don't care if it's something as simple. I'm on antidepressants. Not in your 20s. Ladies, it ain't going to get any better than in your 20s. Society is not going to bow down for you any more than it is right now. You think your 20s are hard, that you need antidepressants, wait until your 50s. So yeah. And you could say, well, what if she legitimately has whatever, Asperger's? Too bad. You're not a charity. You could find someone else who has Asperger's. So I have that there. This is one of my personal favorites because I think it tells a lot, and this is definitely in the relationship test. Does she find lingerie demeaning? Not like lingerie up into itself or unto itself, like wearing it. I remember one gal, I thought she was into me, and then she sent me a letter, like a written letter, how it wasn't going to work out, and that she found it disgusting and demeaning that I would expect a woman, my future life, to serve me cocktails while wearing lingerie. It's like, okay, well then you have fun. I guess a way what that's an indication of is whether they like sex or not, whether they're willing to try, because sex is very important to men. Women not so much, but for men it's very important. And we're not doing the starfish sex. We like to have kinky little fun. So everyone's got their kink. Depends on who you are. Vince over at Masculine Geek likes guys. I'm not judging. Everyone's got different tastes. I happen to like girls. Like, you put on the lingerie, you serve me a freaking cocktail. Like, without me asking, like, you just like can't wait to get dressed. Now, what that is for you, I don't know. Right? But lingerie is kind of that's not an irrational request. And you don't, these are not questions you bring up on the first date. But you kind of, I don't know, you walk past Victoria's Secrets or something, like, hey, look at that. And you'll get your answer right there. Ooh, that's cute. Let's go in there. There's your girl. That's your girl. There you go. Giggity. Giggity. Giggity goo. Ooh, you like that stuff? I was like, oh, no, I just like some of the shirt. I don't know, your hat at that time. Like, I guess you're just like, yeah, why not? I'm male, aren't I? And you just never call that girl back again. And then I think even in there somewhere is the girls have to like sex. One of the Clary relationship test requests, that kind of thing. I think that was in there. But I think you'll find that out, I think, relatively soon. But the lingerie test is in there. Very quickly, this one you can assess without a lot of talking: excessive tattoos or piercings. And it's not even that they're like, oh, that's a dangerous girl. It's like, you're just a conformist. There's like not a soul. There's not a brain. It's just an NPC. It's a lazy person. You got a bunch of tattoos and piercings because instead of actually going out and doing something that makes you a unique or interesting person and you like differentiate yourself, you just paid someone to put a bunch of ink on your arm. Whoa, you're so edgy. So edgy. Ooh, you have a hole in your nose. Ooh, so edgy. It was just like, no, not gonna do that. Odd religions or beliefs like astrology and Wicca are the two that came to me, but I'm not against Eastern philosophy, but a lot of these girls like, oh, I joined Baha'i, I'm into yoga, I'm into all these things. Like, are you really? Like, did you read the books? You know who Alan Watts is? Tell me what he said, like that kind of thing. But astrology, Wicca, no, they're fun in the sack. Wiccan girls are fun in the sack. And they're dangerous otherwise. So there's that. And then also, is she a hard Marxist leftist? Every girl you're going to date under 40 is going to be a Democrat. That's a given because they were told to be. It's the party of the little people. Again, I ask you, 40% GDP, that's not a little party, but never mind. What you want to look out for is the extremist, like where it's their value in life, where they have bumper stickers are a way to tell this. Like, do they put political bumper stickers on the car? That's their identity. That's how they're telling people what their value is. And any of the sub-religions of leftism. It could be rank Marxism. It could be feminism. It could be environmentalism. You're not going to find a girl under 30 who's going to claim to be a feminist, but you should, like, okay, but do you like guys? Oh, yeah, I do. All right. And you're in shape or whatever. But if it's like, murder Kavanaugh or, just, the fist with the circle around it and the cross below, and it's on there, and that's like their identity, and they start asking like, well, what'd you think of Trump? Like, they start interrogating you about your politics. It ain't gonna work. It just, in which case you say, oh yeah, I voted for Hillary, and you just leave. Yeah. Oh yeah, good night. Yeah, no, I'll call you later. I will. Yeah, totally. And then you go away. And then finally, after a while, like, here's the number one thing, man. I know I said there's a bunch of number one things, but it's probably do you like her? You know, a lot of you guys like this, you have this check mark. It's like, okay, well, you're humans, all right? We've done the robot thing. We've done the checkbox. All right, here's a very important thing. Do you like her? You know, I couldn't address the book of numbers. It's linked below. I couldn't address personality because we're humans. That's the one variable I couldn't tackle. I could tackle everything else. And so what ultimately matters, like, have I dated girls who are Democrats that are very nice and loving, sweet girls? Yes, I have. Have I dated conservative girls that were weapons grade Kuantas? Yes, I have. Not a guarantee. You know, so you gotta, do you like her? That's the main thing. But I'm not, like I said before, that's gonna be a 6-month process. All right. Like, you go out regularly, see, okay, hopefully in 3 months that she starts showing up in her sweats, like, okay, this is what she's gonna settle in. This is her cruising speed. This is her cruising altitude. This is what she's gonna be long term. You kind of look at it like, oh, okay, all right. I like one what Joker said. Joker over at Better Batch, he says, take them swimming. Then you'll see what they look like without makeup and in a bikini. Not wrong. But yeah, and about 6 months time, and you're honest, like, I'm not committing. I'm like, oh man, I kind of like this girl. No, that's the most important thing out of. I mean, there's a ton of deal breakers, a ton of mandatory questions here, but that's it. There you go. I think that's it. All right, don't save. If you kindly would subscribe to the channel. We're slowly encroaching on 100,000. Let's see if we got any super chats here. Scrolling up. All right. Just some guy for 99 cents again. Thank you very much. Scrolling here. Oh, okay, here we go. $5 from Hanker Z. New guy, $5. Thanks for all the recent content, Cappy. Been keeping me sane in the last year of my STEM degree. Hope all is well down south. Yeah, well, good luck with that STEM degree. Atham's in the same boat. He's got a hell of a school schedule. So yeah, you're almost there, buddy. Almost there. Scrolling. That's it. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.